One thing about all the bosses, which we can touch on now, is that they all have massive amounts of HP. They're just big bullet sponges, basically.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, especially if you look at, let's say, the Revolver Ocelot fight from the original Metal Gear Solid, hitting him felt like you'd achieved something just by hitting him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you were just like, boom, got a shot off through this, like, fucking wall of C4. It felt like a big deal just to hit the motherfucker.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas, like, these guys, it's just like, I'm starting the fight, I'm just going to start shooting at them right from the start. Like, I'm just not even going to look to see what the patterns are. Yeah. You might as well just open up with some gunshots. Yeah. I remember Laughing Octopus being a lot better than it was when I replayed it. I remember it being like a game of cat and mouse, and you're kind of looking at, you're trying to find her, it's kind of stealthy. And it is kind of like that, but what I think it kind of becomes is, like, it's a bit tedious.
Yeah, it's a bit too much like run and gun kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, okay, where is she? I don't know where she is. You're looking for her, you're looking for the bot, you're looking at, is she on the wall, is she behind you, is she using the stealth? And it's kind of fun where it's like, oh, I found her, but then you just can walk up to it and then just absolutely pepper her with bullets. And it's kind of a bit like, okay, now it's just kind of, find the enemy and shoot the hell out of them. Mm-hmm. Whereas, I think, if you look at like a boss like the End, he might just be shooting you and you have no idea where he is.
Yeah.
And like, he's completely stealthed and he looks really camouflaged. Like, you can be scouring the area for ages with like a sniper rifle or whatever. So that's why I originally approached the End fight. I thought it's a sniper fight. I've got to like keep an eye, like, try and look for him, and I just couldn't find him.
It's actually more hard to do that.
Yeah, it is absolutely the hardest approach to take that fight. And you know, that was a really well implemented stealth fight.
We don't be stealthy. We're not stealthy in this boss
We
fight.
don't be stealthy. We don't be stealthy, Snake. Orcon is screaming at you over the codec. Snake, we don't be stealthy. It's like, what? We don't be. But
but the thing is, if you equip the solid eye while she's hiding,
and why wouldn't you?
She gives you these massive clues as to where she is. And it's like, don't you think this would have been a better fight if you just didn't know where she was and you didn't have those clues in the solid eye and she could just attack you?
Yeah, I think
you had to
really
react a bit more quickly.
Absolutely. Like, you could have had it where, and there were loads of stuff that you could have done. Like, first of all, the radar is really obnoxious in this fight because it's just like, boom, there she is. She's over in this region.
It's like, come and find me, and then it just goes, boof,
and it's like,
oh, she's there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's not even a big room. It's not like it's that massive. It's almost like a Crash Bandicoot style boss fight where you literally like, find me now, but jump, boinker, oh, I lost my health, oh, no, catch me again, runs off. And kind of like, and then she'll like fight, she'll do like a really standard attack, which you can easily just like run out of the way of. Like, rolling attack, rolls round, catch me again, boom. And it's like, and it's just easy to hit her every single time. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
It's not particularly difficult, and obviously the amount of damage you can do to her is like set, like you can't just absolutely rape her kind of thing, but like, it's a set amount of damage you can do no matter what gun you're really approaching it with. Yeah. So there's no real tactics in terms of the weapons that you can use, which I always find is a bit of a shame in a fight.
So if we were to squeeze some more positives out of this boss fight, I would say that the shoulder switching mechanic, which I find is really like useful in this game.
Absolutely.
It makes really good use of that in this boss fight because
I would say so.
You have to constantly move around, and you know there's these tight corridors and doorways. And she's kind of sliding throughout these like an octopus.
Yeah.
And in that way, it matches her.
Yeah.
And, you know, she has quite a small hitbox as well. Which
like an octopus. You ever tried shooting one of those things? Bastards, can't hit them with nothing.
So, yeah, it makes this fight a lot more challenging than the other fights, I think, in that way.
Yeah, it is mildly difficult. I think it's probably the most intense fight in that it is so close quarters. Yeah. All the other fights are kind of far range, and I think that kind of
it does. It sucks the excitement out a bit, I think.
Yeah. I like the idea that she can like hide and become things. So she becomes this thing later on, and so parts of the level are implemented into what she can do against you, which I quite like. You think it's just quite an anonymous room, this, but it has actually been specifically designed for the boss fight.
Yeah.
And I do quite like that.
So you said in our Metal Gear Solid 4's terrible gameplay video that
I remember that one.
Perhaps, you know, some of the elements of stealth in this game, like the hiding as a statue, could have been implemented in this fight.
Yeah.
Where you had to hide from her.
That's something they could have done a bit more with, I think.
And turn the tables, basically.
Can I roll through this window? Oh, yes.
I had an idea where...
That was awesome.
Where, like, in the cutscene previous to this, Naomi and Snake are talking in this room.
Yeah.
So if you were to throw away the stupid auto octa camo that we've got here, and have to acquire camos like you did in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh yeah.
Imagine if the octa camo had to acquire camos by actually touching things.
That'd be quite cool.
In the cutscene just beforehand, imagine if Snake fell onto that mannequin thing.
Oh yeah,
and
something
it gave
like
him the camo. So like no one would tell you this, but if you went into the menu to try and switch your camo, maybe you would realise that you had that camo and you could be that statue.
Oh, that's a nice little idea.
Yeah, that would have been something that would have made this fight, you know, a bit more like the other games.
Yeah, but rolling through the windows is so satisfying. I'm having so much fun rolling through all the windows right now.